Hi everyone, welcome to Friday Yoga. My name is Dora. I hope you're all doing well. So if you're new to my class, I usually recommend having 2 yoga blocks and maybe a strap sometimes could be helpful. These things are there to make your practice a little bit more accessible, maybe a bit more pleasant at times. But if you don't have these props, no problem. We'll work with what you have or what just working with your body just as it is. Always, this is going to be your own practice. So take everything I say as more of a suggestion. Make minor adjustments as you need. And if you need to sit out a pose, definitely do what you need. And yeah, take as many breaks as you like during your practice. Whenever you're ready, we're going to start with a grounding exercise. So take the most comfortable position. Feel free to remain seated, or you might lie onto your back. We will begin class on our backs today, so if you want to make your way there already, please go ahead now. And yeah, so give yourself a moment to settle in. Taking the most comfortable position. And allowing yourself just a moment to come back into your body. Allow yourself to be present. And make any minor adjustments as you need. And then just notice how you're feeling. And if there's anything that you can do to make yourself that 5 or 10% a little bit more comfortable, go ahead and make those adjustments. And then gradually allow your body to remain still. You might have your eyes open or closed. Either way, we're aiming to bring our attention inside, so we're not trying to look outside of us. So let's bring that focus within. And then just noticing how you're feeling. Noticing any sensations in your body that might be calling for your attention. Without judgment or attachment, just notice what sensations, emotions, or thoughts might be arising. And just seeing whether you can allow yourself to welcome these sensations, emotions, thoughts. And just allowing them to be here. Again, without trying to fix or change, without rejecting, without attaching, and just welcoming. And you might notice that these sensations, emotions, thoughts, memories, images, whatever that might be arising for you, that they come, but they also leave, changing all the time. So we just became an observer, allowing these movements to come into our awareness. Also just allowing them to as freely leave our awareness. And as you remain here, you might begin to notice your breath. And you might breathe in through the nose. And you might breathe out either through the nose or mouth. And again, if we just allow and welcome without trying to change the breath intentionally in any way, just notice. Noticing how it feels to breathe in and how it feels to breathe out. Noticing how your body responds to your breath. And taking one last deep breath in. And breathe it all out. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes and bring your focus back into the room. And like I said, we are going to be starting on our backs. So if you're not there yet, gently make your way down onto your back. Now you might start with your feet flat on the ground and your knees bent. You're going to just hug your right knee in towards your chest. And then you're going to switch legs, hugging left knee in. And releasing. So we're going to just do this a few more times. So hug the right knee in, and you might hold onto the leg a little longer. If it feels good, you might gently rock side to side or just squeeze the knee and release a few times. And we're just going to continue to switch legs. So bring in, any other movement that might feel good for you here. And if you like, as you hug one leg in, you might straighten the other leg out. Just noting your breath as you change or switch sides. Noticing the energy in your body, feelings and sensations that might arise. Just staying with your breath. The next time you have your right leg in, you're going to hang on to the right leg. You might begin to just circle the ankle here, going one direction and then the other. And then you might draw a circle with your knee, going one direction and the other. And then switching sides, bring the left leg in. Again, rolling the ankle. And the other way. And then making circles here with the knee, going one direction and the other. Hugging the right knee back in. And again, you can either have the left knee bend or you might straighten the left leg all the way out. You're going to gently squeeze the right knee in towards your chest. Now we're going to bring some energy or activity in the legs. So you're going to flex your feet. You're going to point the toes up towards the sky. You're going to start to pull the navel down towards the spine. And as you draw down into the navel, start to lengthen up along the spine, out the crown of the head. So you're going to keep this engagement in the core. Now you're going to start to press into your left heel, starting to engage the left leg. So keep the left foot flexed. And then from here, draw the right knee a little bit closer to your chest. Now see if you can keep the right knee where it is, or the right leg where it is, as you let go of that leg and bring your hands beside you, so palms facing down. So keep that engagement in the belly, the left leg, right leg, toes are pointing up. So you might stay right here. If it feels good, you might hover the left leg off the ground. Now keep pressing through the left heel. Option to stay here. Otherwise, you might begin to draw the shin towards, the right shin towards the ceiling so that it's parallel to the ceiling or somewhat parallel. Keep pulling the core or the belly down towards the spine. Breathe. Now, option to stay here, or you might float the arms up, do a little curl up, reach the fingertips towards the feet, and now keep breathing here. Keep pressing through the left heel. Keep the legs engaged. You might curl up a little bit more, and then hug the knees in and relax. And you might, roll out the ankle, point, or flex the feet, whatever feels good. And then from here, other side, we're going to hang on to the left knee, release the right leg down. Again, you might straighten the right leg all the way out. Hug the left knee in, point the toes up to the sky. Alrighty, from here you can stay right here. You're going to start drawing the navel down towards the spine, lengthening up. You're going to start to press into the right heel. Right leg is active here. Deep breaths. You're going to draw the left knee closer towards your chest and see if you can keep the leg there as you let go of the hands and bring palms down towards the floor. Option to stay here, or you might bring the shin to face the ceiling, keeping the feet flexed. Breathe. Keep the core engaged, maybe floating the bottom leg up. Keep pressing through the right heel. Option to stay here. Otherwise, float the arms up off the ground. On the exhale, curl up, peeling the shoulder blades off the ground. Reach the fingers towards the outstretched leg. Breathe. And release. Hugging the knees in. You might gently rock side to side. Then place the feet down to the ground. Walk the feet out to the edges of your mat so feet are wide. You can bring your hands onto your belly and just gently sway the knees side to side here. And when you're ready, bring the legs back to center. You're going to walk the feet roughly hip distance apart. You might walk the feet a little bit closer towards your buttocks. You're going to bring your hands down, palms facing the floor. Now from here, we're not going to do a very big movement. We're going to do some very gentle pelvic tilts. So you're going to tilt the pelvis towards you. So as you do, it's going to feel like you're trying to tuck the tailbone under. You're going to squeeze the belly. And then we're going to do the opposite and tilt the pelvis away from you. So you're going to arch into your back. So we're going to just do this a couple of times, tilting the pelvis towards you and then away. And make these movements your own, so it might feel good to do even smaller movements here. You may not even notice a lot of movement, but as long as you can feel the sensations of tilting the pelvis slightly forward and back, just stay with what feels best in your body. And then slowly coming back to center. From here, we're going to open the arms out wide. And we're going to bend the elbows so that our fingertips are facing up to the sky. We're going to try to keep both shoulder blades down. And you're going to ground your arms down into the floor. And then you're going to pick the feet up now. So knees are roughly 90 degrees. You're going to pull the belly down towards the spine. And again, finding that length along the spine out through the crown of the head. You can stay here. If you have a block handy, you might even squeeze a block between your thighs. From here, we're going to exhale and bring the legs over to the right, but we're not coming all the way down. In fact, lower as far as you can, keep both shoulder blades to the ground. And then on the exhale, on your next exhale, pull the legs back to center. So breathe in and out. Exhale to the other side. Hold both shoulder blades down. Press the arms down. On your next exhale, bring the legs back to center. So work at your own pace here. Again, next exhale, coming to your right. Come as far as you can, keeping shoulder blades down. Press the arms down. Exhale, back to center. Now try to keep the legs or the knees roughly 90 degrees so that you're not drawing the knees or the legs close to your chest here. So continue. Hold. Exhale to center. Breathe in. Exhale, twist, hold. For as long as you want here, and then on your next exhale, back to center. So use that breath to pull the legs back. Continue at your own pace, and if you like, you might straighten the legs, and then you can bend into the legs as you exhale back to center. Breathe in, exhale, hold. You might lengthen the legs, keep the shoulder blades down, bend the knees, exhale back to center. When you're ready, you're gonna hug the knees in, gently rock side to side. Bring the feet back down, feet roughly hip distance apart. We're going to bring the arms alongside our body, palms facing down. Now this time, we're going to press into the legs, start to lift the hips up off the ground, coming to a gentle bridge pose. And then slowly come on down. So again, ground into the legs, pick up the hips, lift, and exhale, lower down. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to lengthen the legs, reach the arms up overhead. Big stretch here, point the toes and fingers away. And then drawing the legs in, we're going to hug the knees into the chest and curl yourself up into a little ball. Give yourself a big squeeze. Now if it feels good to rock back and forth, you can slowly rock on up to sit. Otherwise, find your best way up. Once you're up, we're going to move on to hands and knees. We're going to find tabletop position. So hands are roughly shoulder width apart, knees are roughly hip distance apart. Shoulders are over the wrist, hips over the knees. As you inhale, we're going to arch the low back, open the chest. You can look forward or up, coming to cow pose. Exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine, and drop the head, coming to cat. So just a couple rounds of cats and cows here at your own pace. Following your breath. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come on back to a neutral spine, so finding tabletop again. Now here we're going to step the right foot back and then the left foot back to come to plank pose. Feel free to drop the knees if you wish. And then from here, we're going to pull up from the belly button, send the hips back, downward facing dog. And you might want to take a moment here to walk out the legs. They eventually settle in, taking a breath here. Then inhale, coming forward again to plank, option to lower the knees. We're going to lower all the way down to the ground. Press all 10 toes, pull the belly in, roll the shoulders back and down as you lift the chest up and forward, baby cobra. And then exhale, release. Press onto your hands and knees and send the hips back to the heels, coming to child's pose. And then from here, we're going to start to walk the hands over to your right and sink your weight into the left hip, stretching or lengthening the left side of the body. And then come on back to center and across to the other side. Sinking into the right hip. Deep breaths here. Then come on back to center. We're going to come back onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Come back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then look towards your hands, start to walk the feet up, coming to your forward bend. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen along the spine, and then exhale, lower back down. We're going to keep the knees bent, pull the belly in. You can slowly roll on up one vertebrae at a time. Come on up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to your heart. Exhale here. All right, so from here, we're going to stay in your mountain pose. You're going to ground down into the points of the feet. So these are the center of your heels, pinky toe mounds, and your big toe mounds. As you ground down, you're going to feel the energy coming from the tops of the legs, grounding all the way down into the points of the feet and into the earth 2 feet below. As you're grounding down into these points, you're going to start to lift up into the inner and outer arches of the feet. It might help to pick up all the toes, spread them out to feel this engagement. But once you have it, see if you can gently lower the toes back down. All right. Belly draws in, lifting up along the spine and out through the crown of the head. Shoulders relax. Mountain pose. Now as you breathe in, we're going to reach the arms up overhead. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. And we're going to start to pick the right heel up off the ground. Now from here, you can stay, or you might bring, I'll come to face you. You might bring the right foot in front of the left and hang out here. Otherwise, you might pick up this foot, knowing that you can always touch back down whenever you need. Or you might continue to draw the leg up, bending into the knee. Again, keeping that core engaged, draw the belly in and lift up. Ground down into the points of the standing foot. Now we're going to open the leg out to the side, coming to tree pose. So option 1, you can bring the right foot onto the left ankle. Option 2, you can bring the foot up onto the calf. Give yourself a moment to see whether you can stay in control and balance before we move on. Option 3, you might bring the foot to the inner thigh, but you're either coming to the thigh or the calf or lower. We're not putting our foot against the knee here. So find a place where you can stay, where you can breathe, where you're able to balance. Find your drishti, so a focus point, a spot in front of you. All right. Now, when you're ready, we're going to peel that foot off the standing leg and bring the leg back in front of you. We're going to send the leg back. Now, feel free to touch the foot down on the ground. Otherwise, you might keep the leg up. Don't worry about how low you want to get here. See if you can keep a straight line from the body all the way to the back leg. Pull the belly in. Now, if you want to continue to come deeper, find your version of Warrior 3. Press into the back heel, flex into the back foot. Now, from here, we're going to gently lower the back foot down, coming to a high lunge. Make any adjustments as you need to feel stable in your stance. And then we're going to drop the back heel down. You might walk the back heel just a little bit further back, coming to Warrior 2, so open the arms out wide. Deep breaths here. Again, we're going to keep grounding down into the points of the feet. We're going to start to hug the muscles into the bones, lengthen along the spine. We're going to bring your front arm down onto the front leg. Back arm sweeps down and over your ear. See if you can open the chest and you might look up to the sky. Breathe. Now, option to stay here, or you might continue to draw the arm back, and you might bend into the elbow and bring the back of the hand onto the low back, or you might bring the hand all the way around and grab hold of your front thigh. Can we keep the chest open and lengthen along the neck? Deep breaths here. Keep the legs grounded. And then we're going to release the bind, reaching the arm up, or you might bring the arm along the ear again. Option to stay here, or if you like, you can come all the way back up to warrior two. But if you're staying here with me, you might reach the bottom arm also up along the ear. Breathe, keep the legs grounded. Now we're going to slowly shift back to a high lunge. Again, feel free to release the arms or make adjustments as you do. But if you're good here, we might begin to pick up the back heel and pivot the back foot. So now both feet are facing the front of your mat. Now we're going to come to humble warrior, so you might stay here. Imagine you're trying to get that belly close to the front thigh, keeping the back nice and long. We're going to start to reach the arms back. Breathe. Now option to stay here, keep the belly strong. Or for fun, we might lift the front heel up off the ground. Notice your breath. Breathe. We're going to slowly come on up, and if you like, keep the front heel up off the ground. Option to stay right here, or you might sink deeper into the hips, draw the heart forward and lift up, coming to a back bend. You can keep the gaze straight ahead to help balance. And then slowly bring the arms back down. We're going to step the front foot back, coming to your plank pose. Option to lower the knees to the ground. Deep breaths here. Option to hover the right leg off the ground, pressing into the right heel. Keep the belly strong. Breathe. Option to keep the right leg up as you send your hips back, coming to a three-legged downward dog. When you're ready, want to bend that top leg, flex into the top foot, open the hip. So pointing the top knee to the sky, maybe keeping the heel close to the buttocks. Square the hips. Re-extend the top leg, and then bring it down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, floating forward to plank. Option to lower the knees. Take your vinyasa. Chaturanga down. Inhale to either your cobra, upward facing dog. And then coming back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Then look to your hands. Gently walk or hop the feet up. Forward bend. Come halfway up, lengthen along the spine, and exhale down. Bend the knees, look forward, sweep the arms forward for chair pose. Pull the belly in, and then grounding into both legs, stand up to mountain pose. And see a heart, exhale. All right, when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart, shifting the weight into your right leg, picking up your left heel. Option to stay right here, or you might bring one foot in front of the other. You might hover the foot, or you might bring the leg closer to you, bending into the knee. So ground down into the standing leg, don't lay into your hip, okay? Zip that hip up, belly in, lengthen the spine. Find those points of the standing foot, ground down. From here, we're going to open the leg out to the side, coming to a tree pose. So again, you might bring the foot to the ankle, onto the calf, or onto the inner thigh. Again, we're not pressing against the knee. Deep breaths here, finding your focus point. Are we able to keep the shoulders relaxed? You're breathing steady. Okay, when you're ready, gently peel the left foot off the standing leg. Bring the leg back forward. We're going to send the leg back. And again, that foot might come down to the ground. You might stay here. Or you might begin to hinge forward at the hips, lowering your body at the same time or the same rate as you are picking up the back leg. So you're trying to create a straight line here. Again, doesn't matter how far you want to go, okay? Just notice your breath. Focus on steady breathing and steady pose. When you're ready, we're going to gently lower the back foot down, coming to your lunge. Again, giving yourself a moment to find a steady stance. And then we're going to lower the back heel down, make your adjustments, open the arms out wide, coming to warrior two. Again, finding those points of the feet, see if you can ground down evenly into all those points, including the back foot. And begin to squeeze the muscles into the bones, lengthen along the spine, and relax into the shoulders. When you're ready, the front forearm comes down onto the front thigh, back arm sweeps down, and then over your ear. Lengthen along the spine, round down into the back foot all the way up, or find energy from the back foot all the way up to the top of the head. Now you're gonna maybe sweep the arm up towards the ceiling, or you might continue to wrap the arm back behind you, maybe the back of the hand onto the low back, or you might continue to bring the arm across and grab hold of the front thigh. You're going to open the chest. Maybe you might look up to the ceiling. Keep grounding into the legs. Breathe. And then from here, you're going to release the bind. Reach the arm up to the sky. Option to stay here. Option to come up to warrior two and hang out here. Or you might bring that top arm close to the ear. Keep the legs grounded, the core is engaged. Maybe the bottom arm will also reach forward, both arms along the ears. Deep breaths. We're going to slowly transition to humble warrior. So you're going to pivot onto the back foot and turn both feet forward. You might need to make a little adjustment here, so take your time. Deep breaths. Lengthen along the spine, press into the back heel. We're going to bring the arms back behind. All right, option to stay right here. Otherwise, you might pick the front heel up off the ground. If this is too much, you might even just adjust your stance. Maybe make a shorter stance. Maybe bring the belly closer to the front thigh. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Slowly come on up to high lunge. Option to keep that front heel up. Maybe sink into the hips, coming to a back bend, drawing the chest forward and lifting up. Option to look up or straight ahead. Keep grounding into the back heel. And then slowly come on down. Hand to the ground, step back to plank. Option to stay here, maybe the knees will come down to the ground. Maybe the right foot will float up off the ground, pressing into the right heel. Deep breaths here. Maybe you'll keep the leg up as you lengthen the leg up to three-legged dog. Otherwise, come back to your regular dog and then pick the right leg up. Bend into the right knee, flex into the foot. Heel towards the buttocks, maybe knee to the sky as you open the hip. And then square the hips. Reach the leg up. And then lower the foot down. Inhale, coming forward, take your vinyasa. Finding your favorite back bend. Downward facing dog. Then whenever you're ready, walk on up or hop on up. Forward bend. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down. Bend the knees, look forward, sweep the arms forward for chair pose. Ground into the legs, Relax the shoulders, open the chest, and press on up to stand. Hands to heart. Take a breath here. All right. When you're ready, this next part, if you have a strap with you, feel free to bring it, have it with you, and you might just throw it over your shoulder, whatever's easiest, so you can have easy access to it. If you don't have a strap, that is completely okay. We're going to come back to your mountain pose, grounding down into the legs, into the points of the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to your heart, picking the right heel up. Again, option to stay here. Any other options that might help you balance, you can definitely take them. But if you feel good, you might hover the leg up, bend into the knee, and hang out here. Alrighty, when you're ready, we're going to slowly open the leg out to the side. Now you might bring right hand onto the knee and left hand onto the hip, or even out to the side. Whatever helps you balance. And if you have a wall next to you or something steady, and you want to hang on to that, that's completely okay to do. Now, option to stay right here. Otherwise, if you have a strap with you, or if you're able to reach your fingers and wrap them around your big toe, you might begin to lengthen the leg out to the side. Maybe the left arm will reach out for balance. Breathe here. And I'm going to draw the knee in. Bring the leg back to center. Hands to your heart. Again, we're going to send the leg back. So finding your version of warrior 3 here. Okay. Lengthen along the spine, deep breaths. If you want to reach the arms up overhead, please do what you wish here. All right. We're going to bring the hands to heart. We're going to come on back and draw the knee back to the chest. We're going to cross that front, the top leg over. So face you again. Coming to eagle legs. Option to stay here, or you might bring the foot down for balance. Or if you want to wrap that foot all the way around the calf, please go ahead, sink low. Open the arms out to the side if you wish. Bringing the right arm underneath. Cross at the elbows. Option 1, hold on to your shoulders. Option 2, hold on to your hands. Option 3, you might do an extra twist along the arms before bringing the palms together. From here, elbows up, shoulders down, and draw the hands further away from your face. Deep breaths. Option to stay right here. Or you might draw the elbows and knees together and come on back up. Oops. I'm going to turn this way. And if you fall out, that's okay. Take your time. Come back into it. Again, lower and up. And again, the toes can be on the ground. And coming back up. Release the arms. Hands to the heart. Come on back up and send the leg back. High lunge. Bring your hands down to the ground. If you have your blocks, you might grab them. Lengthen out the front leg. Should feel good. Deep breaths here. Lengthen along the spine. Breathe. All right. When you're ready, we're going to spin the back heel down and windmill the arms up. Coming to your warrior 2. Deep breaths here. Again, give yourself a moment to find a steady stance. Option to stay right here. Otherwise, if you want, you might again pick the right heel up off the ground. Sorry, not the right, the front. Front heel up off the ground. And then bring your front arm up, back arm down. Option to stay here. Otherwise, you might sink into the hips and draw that top arm back. Again, option to keep the front heel lifted or not. And then come on back to warrior 2. Now, option to keep the front heel lifted. If you lose balance or if you feel like this is not working for you, by all means, please ground that heel back down. But otherwise, if you want, keep the heel up. You might walk the back foot in slightly, and we're going to slowly turn towards the front of the mat. So the back arm is going to come forward, pivot onto the back foot. Now both feet are facing forward. Maybe the front heel remains lifted. Option to stay, otherwise you might do a crescent lunge here, drawing the heart forward, lifting the heart up. And then whenever you're ready, bring the hands down, coming back to plank. Option to stay here, or you might lower the knees to the ground. Deep breaths. Maybe lifting the left heel up and lower. Sorry, the left foot up and lower. One more lift, maybe holding here. Send the leg back, three-legged dog. Bending at the top leg, open the hip. Then squaring the hips, reaching the leg back up. Option to keep the leg up as you vinyasa. Both feet to the ground before your back bend. And downward facing dog. When you're ready, look to your hands. Walk or hop the feet up. Forward bend. Come halfway as you lengthen along the spine. And then exhale down. Bend the knees, look forward, sweep the arms forward for chair pose. And press on up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath here. Alrighty. When you're ready, again, if you want to have your strap with you, sling it over your shoulder. And coming to your standing mountain pose. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to your heart, lifting left heel up off the ground. Option to stay here. Maybe hovering the foot, maybe drawing the leg closer to you. Alrighty. When you're ready, you're going to open the left leg out to the side. Maybe right hand onto hip or reaching out to the side. Option to stay here. If this is too much, the foot can come down to the ground. If you want, if you have a strap with you, you can wrap the strap along around the foot, or you might grab hold of your big toe with your fingers. You might begin to lengthen the leg out to the side. Whatever you need to do to balance here. Keep your gaze at a focus point. That's going to help with your balance. And then slowly bring the knee back towards center. Hands to your heart. We're going to send the leg back. Again, option to touch the foot down. Or you might hover the foot. Or any version of your warrior 3 is perfect. Maybe the arms will reach forward. Hug the belly in. Find length along the spine as you press into the back heel. And then hands to your heart. Draw the knee back forward. Cross the leg over for eagle. Again, maybe the toes are on the ground here. You might pick the foot up, or you might wrap the foot leg all the way around, but you do want to square your hips back forward if you're doing that. That's not my ideal pose. I'm staying here. When you're ready, if you like, open the arms out wide. Left arm underneath. Cross at the elbows. Option 1, hold on to the shoulders. Option 2, hands together. Option 3, you might do an extra twist with your arms before bringing your hands together. I'm going to turn to this side. Option to stay right here. Elbows up, shoulders down, hands away from your face. If you like, go ahead and do your crunches, drawing the elbows to the knees and come on back up. Again, coming down and up. One more. And up. Release the arms, bring your hands to your heart. Come on up to stand. Let's send the leg back. If you have your blocks, grab them. We're going to start to lengthen out the front leg. Deep breaths, the option to stay, or if you need a little bit more movement here, you can bend and release. And then eventually settle in, lengthening along the spine. Relax into the shoulders. One more breath here. All right, when you're ready, back heel down. Come on up, warrior two. Make any adjustments as you need. Find a steady stance. All right. Now again, option to stay right here, or you might begin to lift the front heel up. Bring the front arm up, back arm down, maybe staying right here. Or you might sink into the hips and draw the top arm back. Deep breaths here. Ground into the legs. Come on back to warrior two. Feel free to bring that front heel down anytime you like. We're going to start to turn forward now. Back arm is going to reach forward, pick up the back heel. Now turn both feet forward. Again, option to keep the front heel up. You might come into a crescent lunge. Press into the back heel. I know both heels are lifted. Stay with it. And then bring the hands down, step back to plank. Option to lower the knees. Deep breaths here. Maybe lifting the right leg up and lower. Again, up and lower. Press into your heels. Last one, hold. Maybe sending the leg straight back to three-legged dog. Or you might come to a dog first and then lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then square the hips, re-extend the leg. Maybe keeping the leg up. Vinyasa. Both feet down as you come up for your back bend. And downward facing dog. Look to your hands, walk or hop the feet up. Forward bend. Inhale halfway up. And exhale down. Bend the knees, look forward, sweep the arms forward for chair. Round into those legs. Can you still find those points of your feet? Press on up to stand. Hands to your heart. Take a breath here. Okay. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Come halfway up, lengthen the spine. If you have your blocks, you might grab them here. We're going to step the right foot back. Coming to your lunge. Open the chest, lengthen the spine, draw the heart forward, breathe. We're going to lengthen the front leg as much as you can and bend back into the front knee. So we'll do that a couple of times. And then when you're ready, before we straighten the front leg again, you might opt to bring the back foot up by an inch or so. You might bring the blocks up a little bit higher. Lengthen the front leg coming to your pyramid pose. Now the front leg doesn't have to be completely straight. And sometimes it might feel better to walk the blocks slightly behind the front foot. Now if you don't have your blocks and you cannot come all the way to the ground, bend into the front knee to come all the way up and then straighten the leg. You can bring your hands onto your hips and you might start to hinge forward at the hips here to come a little deeper. But this could be uncomfortable for a number of reasons. So if you have a wall in front of you, you might press against the wall here. Let's stay for one more breath. All right, now when you're ready, we're going to keep the right hand down, left hand onto the left hip. Keeping the spine nice and long. As you exhale, you're going to turn to your left. Maybe the top arm reaches up. So if you're up high, you're going to just simply twist. You might reach the arms out, away. Okay. Slowly bring the top hand down. You're going to spin onto the back heel. Keep both legs straight, or as straight as comfortable. And you're going to bring the right hand onto the right hip. Now from here, you're going to turn your body towards the right. Open the chest. You might look up to the sky, and maybe the top arm will reach up. Deep breaths. And then slowly bring the top hand down, bend into the front knee, turn both feet forward. You're going to bring your hand to the ground and step back to downward facing dog. And you might walk out the legs. And then if you like, come on back to plank pose, maybe hold here, or you might opt to take a child's pose instead, or you might take a vinyasa. When you're ready, look to your hands, walk or hop the feet up, forward bend. Come halfway, lengthen along the spine, exhale, lower down. Again, come halfway up. If you like your blocks, bring them along, stepping left foot back, coming to lunge. Open the chest, look forward, breathe. And again, we're going to lengthen the front leg and sink back in. So a couple of times here. All right, next time you bend into the front knee, you're going to hold. You might want to step the back foot up by an inch or so. You might adjust your blocks. You might walk the block slightly behind the front foot and start to lengthen out the front leg. Again, finding length along your spine. Notice what your shoulders are doing. See if you can gently release the shoulders, very gently slide them down, down away from your ears. Breathe. Again, taking any modifications as you need. You might be up here. You might be against the wall. Now, when you're ready, we're going to keep the left hand down and bring your right hand to right hip. Lengthen along the spine and exhale, turn to your right. Option to stay here, or you might reach the top arm up to the sky. Deep breaths. And slowly bring the top hand down. We're going to spin the back heel down. Again, we're going to keep both legs as straight as comfortable. We're going to keep the right hand down, left hand onto the hip. Start to open the chest. You might look up to the sky, or feel free to look down or straight ahead. Maybe the top arm will reach up. Deep breaths here. And then slowly bring the top hand down. Turn both feet forward. Remove the blocks, hand to the ground, stepping back to downward facing dog. Again, any movements here that feel good in your body, go ahead and take them. And then inhale forward. Option to stay here, option to lower the knees, child's pose, or vinyasa. One more breath. Look to your hands, walk or hop the feet up. We're going to bend into the knees. We're going to lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to come all the way onto our back. If it feels good to hug the knees in, gently rock side to side. You might do that. Give yourself a big hug. Curl up into a little ball. And then relax. Finding your Shavasana. So making any adjustments as you need to be more comfortable. Give yourself a moment to settle in. And again, you might have your eyes open or closed. And then allow the body to gradually remain still. And again, coming back to noticing and welcoming. Noticing what sensations might be present in your body. Noticing the energy level, your mood, any emotions, thoughts, feelings, memories. And allow these movements to come into your awareness. Welcoming them in, allowing them to be here as you sit as an observer. So you're watching a movie. Just noticing and observing the coming and going of these movements of sensations, emotions, thoughts, feelings. And as you watch and observe without judgment, without the need to change or fix, without attachment or rejection, just notice how these thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, images that may usually affect you in different ways. Notice how they appear to you now as you sit as an observer. And as you observe, you might begin to also find that background of your breath. And hearing the sounds of your breathing, noticing its rhythm. Feeling the inhale and exhale. Noticing how your breathing affects your body, your mind, your energy. Or you might allow yourself to just be without intentionally trying to focus on any one thing. Whenever you're ready, gently bring some movements back into your body. Wriggling your fingers, your toes. You might bend into the knees and roll over to your favorite side. Gently press up to a comfortable seated position, and you might keep your eyes closed here. And take a deep breath in. Let it go. Again, breathing in. And let it go. Last time, breathe in, reach the arms up overhead, palms meet. As you exhale, draw the thumbs to your forehead for positive thoughts. Thumbs to your lips for kind words. And thumbs to your heart for inner peace and happiness. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Namaste. Alright, thank you guys for joining me today. Summer is coming to an end, so just to let you know, we have about maybe, I think, 4 more classes to go before we finish up. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to message me. I'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back next week, same time. Thanks, guys.